Good evening, everybody. So today we are going to start with our part 3 of Microsoft Excel 2016. In our previous session, we have studied about how we can sort our data. We have seen that we have to go to a particular column, then we have to select a cell, and then we can go to the data tab. Inside the data tab, there would be an option of getting the A to Z sort or Z to A sort. We can select any of the options and our data would be sorted based on this selection. Then after that we have seen the sorting levels, in which we have seen how we can sort our data based on different levels. In the sorting data, there were two options for this particular process. Either we can select the entire worksheet, or we can simply select a specific range and we can sort that particular specific range based on that. While in the sorting levels, we have seen that we can sort our data based on different columns as well. Or you can say we can sort a data based on multiple columns as well. The columns would be are different or multiple, you can say the labels, they will act as a label. So we will select the first column. So that first column would be our first label. Then second column, that would be the second label, and so on. So you can select multiple columns or the number of columns that you have in your entire worksheet to sort your data. Then we have seen how we can filter our data. So in the filtering part, we have seen that we can either select all the values that are in a specific column, or we can simply select a single value, or we can select multiple values to sort our data, to filter our data. So these are the topics that we have completed in our previous session. I hope all these topics are clear to you, and let's start with our today's topic. So today we are going to see how we can use the advanced filtering concept. It is the filtering is same, but there would be some advanced features. There would be some advanced functions that we can apply to filter our data. Then we will see how we can create the groups and how it will help us to manage a large worksheets that we will have. Then we can use the subtotal functionality by which we can generate some specific reports or kind of create subtotals for the different columns. So without wasting our time, let's start with our first topic, that is advanced filtering. So advanced filtering is nothing, basically it is the same as your filtering. The difference is in the filtering we will use these different features or these advanced formulas. You can say the advanced functions to filter out our data. So the first one is to filter with search. Then we have this advanced text filters, we have some numbered filters, and we also have this date filter. So let's start with the first one. So if you want to use your search to filter out your data, how we can do that? So first we have to go to this data tab, then the same we will click on this filter command. When we click on this filter command, then a drop down arrow will appear in the header cell for each column. Like we have seen in our previous class that when we click on this filter, so there was a drop down arrow on each column. Then based on that, we can click that drop down arrow for the required column to filter. So basically it means let's check in our worksheet. So this is the worksheet. So first we will go to the data tab, then we will click on this filter. So you can see now on each column we are getting this drop down arrow. So when I click on this, so we will get this filter menu, or you can say the filter pop up or a dialog box. Then the filter menu will appear. Then we will enter a search term in search box. Based on that, some search results will appear automatically below the text field filters as one type. Once done, click OK. That means once you are satisfied that yes, this is the desired result you were looking for, so you will stop your typing and then you will simply press on OK. Once you do that, your worksheet will be filtered according to the search term. Let's see how it will happen. Let's say I want to search some of only the orders that has been made from the Los Angeles city, or I want to check that how many cities having this angel in its name. So for the if I want to check only for Los Angeles, so what I can do is I can simply click on a specific value, that is I can click on Los Angeles. So over here you have to find it. You can see that now I have to scroll down to the last values and then I will search them and then I apply OK. So you can check that all my orders has been filtered out. So these orders all of these orders are of Los Angeles. But I do not want to do this. What I want to search is, let's say I want to search for angels. That means I want all the cities, or let's say I want all the cities that have this text. That means I want to search for I'm looking for the cities that have AN in it. So you can check these are the cities which have this text AN in their name, like Egan, Los Angeles, New Albany, Portland, San Francisco, West Jordan, Westland. So once I click on this OK, you can check only these particular cities which have this AN in their name are presented here. That means our data is filtered out with the help of this search. So the benefit of this search term is, if you have so many values, that means this scroll is like you have to scroll something like this. If you know a particular city or a particular place, you can simply write over here. You will get all those related terms, like I want to search for like WES. So you can check there are two cities only, West Jordan and West. So based on your specific results, you can just simply select them and then press OK. So now you can check that my data is filtered with all these two cities. So this is how you can use your search filter. I hope this is clear to you. So it is simple. What we have to do is we have to go to this data tab. Then we will click on this filter command. Once we will click on this filter command, so the drop down arrow will appear, and then after the drop down arrow, you will go to the particular column that based on that you want to perform your filtering. Then when you click on this drop down arrow, a filter menu will appear. Inside that we will type a search term, and then in the search box, based on that particular term, the result will automatically be get sorted out, or you can say the filtered out, and then you can select those values, and once your selection has been done, you can simply press OK. Once you press the OK, your worksheet would be filtered out. So this is how you can filter your data by using search. Now we have this another one, that is we can use some advanced text filters. So advanced text filters is like the same process. If you have already applied the filter, so you don't need to go for this particular process. Because we have already applied the filter, so you don't need to perform this step again and again. You can simply go to the second step, that is you can click on that drop down arrow for the required column that you are going to choose for the filtration. Then a filter menu will appear. Then we will go to the text filter. So we will get a command in the that pop-up menu, or that menu, the text filter should be there. We will select the desired text filter from the drop down menu. That means there are multiple filters that would be provided to us, and then based on the custom auto filter dialog box that would appear after making a selection, and then we will enter the desired text to the right of the filter, then we will press the OK button. Let's see how it will work. So again, let's say you want to search for some customer based on certain criteria. So what we will do, we will click on this, and you can check over here we have this text filter. Now, if you want to select like text filters for equals, that means if you want that someone's name should be equal to this particular name, or it shouldn't be equal to this particular name, or let's say you want that it should begins with, let's say I go to the and I say that the name should be begin with CN. Okay, if you want to apply for like begin multiple text filters, you can choose either of these. If you select the and, that means the first one and this second one filter, both of them would be applied, and both conditions should be true. That means the name should begin with CN, and the next filter, whatever the filters would be you apply, so that filter should also be met. This is the first criteria. Let's go with single one only so that you don't get confused. Later on, you can select based on your own criteria. You can try with yourself. So let's start with that. I'm looking for the customer's name that begins with CN. I'll just click on this. Okay, so you can check that there are only two orders that have been made by this CN customer. You want to apply some other, so again we will go to the text filter. We will, let's say, first let's clear this. Okay, go to this again to the bin. Let's say I want to find someone whose name ends with, let's say, double L, or let's say simply L. I press OK. So you can check these are the customers whose names are ending with L. So this is how you can apply the filters, advanced text filters on a specific text field. So what you have to do is, let's see one more time. If we have already applied the filter, so we don't need to perform the step one. We will go to the step two directly. We will select the column that we want to perform the filtration based on that. Then we will click on this drop down arrow. After clicking, a filter menu will appear, and then we will take our mouse pointer to the text filters. Once we take it over here, so we will get the text filter. That means the list of different text filters will be populated, and we can select the desired one that we want to apply. Once we will select that, then again a window would be pop up that will ask us to provide those values. That means for that particular conditions, like we have selected begins with. So now for that filtration, it will ask to apply the value of that particular begin. I have applied CN. So you will apply that particular value, and then after giving that value, you will press on OK button. Once we will press it, so the data will be filtered with the selected text value. This is how you can filter your data using advanced text filter. This filter will only work on the text values. So the text values would be like only alphabetical, like they would contain A to Z, or they might be a combination of A to Z plus 0 to 9. That means your digit as well. So the alphanumeric, these also will be taken as text. So this filter will be applied on these kind of data. Then we have the advanced number filter. That means in which you have a specific number and you want some of them as a criteria, simply like text. So again, how we can apply that? The same thing. The step one is no need to perform if we have already applied that filter thing. Then we will go to the drop down arrow for the required column. Based on that, we want to perform the filtering. Then a filter menu will appear. Then we will fetch over our mouse on a number filter. So this filter you will get automatically when you are applying it on a numbered column. Okay. Then we will select the desired number filter from that particular drop down list or from that menu. And after selecting, then again a custom auto filter dialog box would appear. We will add those criteria, that means the numbers that we wanted on the right of the filter, and once we will press OK button, our data will be filtered. Let's see how we will perform it. So for that, first let's check for a column that contains only the number. So we have this sales and the quantity and this discount. These contains only the number. So we can filter, apply and filter on this. You can check it is displaying the number filter automatically to me over here. while you can see this is the combination of alphanumerical, so I am getting over as text filter. Here, so let's go to this number filter. We will go to this, and then over here, let's say we want specific numbers or something. Let's say I apply on this between. So when we apply this between, so you can check it has automatically selected both of the things. So basically we want that number should be, let's say, greater than 100 and it should be less than 1000. So that means we are looking for our orders whose amount is more than $100 but less than $1000. When you apply this, okay, so you can check that your data is filtered and you are getting only those orders whose values or whose sales amount is more than 100 but less than 1000. Clear? So this is how you can apply this number filters on your number column. You can select any of the criteria, like I have selected this between. Let's say I don't want it. Let's do cancel. Go to again to the number filter. Let's say you want the top 10. So I'll go to this top 10. It will ask me the top 10 items, that is top 10 highest orders. So once you click it, so you can check these are the top 10 orders that has been placed. Or you can say these are the top 10 highest amount of all the orders. So this is how you can apply a different, advanced number filter on your data that will sort out your, that will filter out your data based on the advanced number filter. Let's go to this and then apply the filter. Okay, I hope this number filter is also clear to you. So let me repeat it again. So what we have to do is, if we have already used this filter command, so we don't need to perform this first step. Otherwise, we have to perform this first step again. What we will do, we will go to directly to the drop down arrow for the column where we want to apply this filter. Then a filter menu will appear and we will mouse over on our number filter that we are getting. So when we mouse over on it, then again a drop down or a kind of menu would appear, and then we will select the desired number filter from that particular list. Once you select it, then a custom auto filter dialog box would appear, and then in that particular filter box, we will apply the criteria that we want. That means we will add the numbers, or we will add enter the numbers that we want. Like suppose when we applied this between, then we have provided that the order value should be greater than 100 and less than 1000. So the orders which have the amount greater than 100 and less than 1000, those data or those items would be filtered out. And we will get the data that will be filtered with the help of this selected number. Clear? Yeah. So someone has asked to just repeat one more time. So let's see how we can apply. What we have to do is we have to go simply to the sales. We have to go for number filter. We will find, let's say I want greater than. So let's say I want that the order amount should be greater than 750. And then when I press OK, so I'll get all those orders which have this order amount greater than 750. So this is how you can apply your advanced number filters on the data. You can select any of the filters that you are getting in this list. You can select equals, does not equal, greater than or equal to, less than equal to, between, top 10, above average, below average. Is totally up to you. So if you select the above average, that means the total number of orders you have, it will find the average, and then the order value that has more than this average, those orders will appear. Okay. So now let's move on to our next filter, that is for the advanced date filter. Similarly, it would be applied only on your date column where you have this date format. So you can apply this date filter over there. Same thing, if you have already applied the filter, do not need to perform this step 1. We will directly start from step 2. That means we will select the drop down arrow from the required columns from which we want to filter out. Then the filter menu will appear. We will take our mouse on the date filters command. Once we mouse over on this, so a menu would appear, and then we will select the desired date filters by which we want to filter out the date. The same thing, a custom auto filter will appear. Then we can enter the desired date, or kind of you can say the certain criteria we will enter on which we want to filter out, and then we will press OK. Once you press the OK, the data will be filtered out. Let's see how this date filter will work. So this one we have the date command, so you can check over here we are getting this date filter. Okay. Now we have a specific like all these filter. So you can select like you want the this year, last year, next year based on that, or you can let's say last month. You can select next month, or kind of the like we are in a September, so it will display the data. That means having the next one. That means now we are in September 2021. So there is no such data of September 2021, so that filter won't apply. Let's try some other one. If we have, let's go to this one. Okay, let's apply this before, and let's select a particular date before which we want to our data. Okay, over there we have this. Okay, we have this today. Okay, this is the format we are getting. Let's say we want the orders that have been placed between before 13 September 2015. Okay, once I click on it, so you can check that all the orders that have been placed before that specific date has been filtered. You can also check like if you want that we are using this one, let's say, and we can change it to let's say is after. That means now we want all the orders that have been placed after this specific date. Once you apply it, so you can check that order that has been placed after 13 September 2015, we are getting only those. So this is how you can apply this advanced date filter on your date file. So you don't need to worry that on which particular column you are going to apply which particular advanced filter. Whatever is the type of your column, Excel will provide you that specific filter. Like this one, this is the text, so you will get text filter. This is also a type of text, so you will get over here a text filter. This is also the kind of text, so you will get this text filter. So all these things are, this is also a category of text filter, so you will get text filter. So you don't need to worry that which particular filter you will get. So based on the type of your column, it will display or it will populate that particular filter on this filter menu, and then you can select your desired criteria based on which you want to filter out your data. So I hope this advanced filtering is clear to all. So we have seen how we can apply the date filter. It is similar to other filters. We have to select the desired column based on which we want to apply this filter. Then a filter menu would appear. We will take our mouse on the date filter, and then we will select the desired date filters, and then in the custom auto filters that would be populated after this clicking on the desired or selecting the desired date filters, we will provide the desired dates by which we want to filter, and once we press the OK button, we will get our data filtered by the selected date filter. So this is how your date filter works out. Now let's see how we can create groups, and basically what is the purpose of this. So in the worksheet, it might be happen that you have a lot of content. Lot of content in the sense, it might happen, you have somewhere around 100 of columns, and there are like 20 to 30 columns which are subsequent to each other, and you don't want to show them, or you want, at a specific time they are not relevant to you. So in that time, it is, sometimes it feels that you are unable to read that worksheet, because you have to scroll down either to the left for the columns and to the bottom for the row. So in that case, what you can do? So in that case, basically Excel provides you a feature of this group. So what does this allow? It allows you to easily show or hide different sections of the worksheet. That means once you prepare the group, so you can easily hide and show those columns or rows, and then you can easily manage your worksheet. You can see the desired columns that you want to see. So how we can apply this particular group? So what we will do, first we will select the rows or columns, towards on which we want to create a group. Then we will go to the data tab and we will click on this group command. Once you click on it, the selected rows or columns will be grouped. You will get to hide a group, you will get a minus sign, which is known as a hide detail. While if you want to show a hidden group, that means that you have already hidden, and if you want to show them, then you will get that plus sign, which is known as your show detail. So you can click on this and you can check. Let's see how we can create that. Let's suppose, let's first remove this filter. Let's suppose you are not interested to, what should I say? Let's say I am not interested to get the product name or the product ID and the product name. I am not interested to see. I just want that the which this order has been. Let's say I don't want the city, state, including with product and product ID. I just want that when the what was the order ID, when it was placed, what was the customer ID and who was the customer, and the total amount of that sale including the quantity and discount. I only want these 4 and 7 columns. I don't want these 4 columns to be shown. So what I can do is I can select all these 4 columns. Over here you are getting this group command. Once I click on it, so you can check on top of this I am getting this particular line. This is earlier it wasn't presented, but once I click on that group command I am getting this particular line. Over here this is minus sign. If I click on that, you can check that my details, those columns has been hidden. I am not able to see those columns. Here now we are getting this plus sign over here, which is known as show details. Once I click on it, so you can check now those columns are presented again. So this help us to easily manage our sheet or easily manage, easily view the data that we want to see. Once you click on it, so those columns would be hidden. Now I can easily see, okay, these are the columns that I want to see. And once I click on this plus sign, so we can check what were the columns that were hidden. This is how you can create a group. And if you want to ungroup them, that means, sometimes it happens. You have selected one extra column or mistakenly you have selected wrong column. So what you can do is simply click on this ungroup command. Once you click on this, so this particular column would be ungrouped. Now you can see there is no plus sign or no minus sign over here. Clear? So this is how you can make groups in Excel to hide or show columns. The same thing you can do with the rows. You can select the specific rows on which you want to apply. Let's say I want to hide these specific rows. I'll click on this group. You can check I'm getting this minus sign over here. Once I click on this, you can say after 3 I'm getting this 13th row. So my rows has been grouped. Then if you don't want them, so you can simply click on ungroup. So those rows would be ungrouped. Clear? So this is how you can group your data in Excel worksheet, which helps you to manage your data or manage your worksheet easily, and you can see the large details on a specific or not required column. Then we have this subtotals. So basically subtotals help you to create the totals just on your specific column. So it can automatically create the groups and use common functions like sum, count, average, etc. But for this purpose, what we have to do is we have to sort the worksheet by the data for subtotal. Clear? Then we will go to this select the data tab. We will choose this column. This dialog box will appear. Clear? Then we will click on the drop down arrow for at each change in, that is field, to select the column for subtotal. So basically what does this mean is you can apply your subtotal where you have same kind of data and you want that how many number of this particular item is there, how many number of this specific things are there. So for that, let's check with the other worksheet that would help us to understand it more. Let me open that data. So we can easily understand in this worksheet that sample data would be quite typical for you in this specific. So let's say we have this worksheet, and we will apply this sorting command, the subtotal things over there. So for that, what we have to do is first we have to sort the data. Let's say I want to check. I want to apply this subtotal on this specific column. I want to present my data based on this specific specific, by which I have to check how many have been rejected, how many have been hired, how many are in progress. So we can first we have to sort it this, then we will go to data, and then we will click on this subtotal. Once you click on it, so you will get that what basically you want to apply. So let's say I want to apply it on each change in status. That means when there is a change in status, apply this function. Which function I am going to apply? Let's say I just simply want to count that how many things are going to be changed, and where you want to add your that subtotal. If you want to add on each column, you can select each column. If you want on a specific column only, so you can click on it. Once you press on OK, so you can check that it has automatically created our groups over here. You can see at the left side that there are the groups which has been created. Clear? Apart from this group, you can check that there is a specific count which has been added after each change. So there is one rejected, there is one hired, and there are two people who are in progress, and we have this grand total as 4. That means there are total 4 rows, out of which 2 are in progress, one have this rejected, and one has this hired. Now let's see if this sheet wasn't sorted, so what would have happened? Let's let's remove all. So let's say this one has its status in progress, while this one has higher. Now my sheet is not sorted, and if I go to this subtotal command and I have applied the same thing on this, so what would have happened? Now you can check that we have 2 person in progress, but we are getting their count as separate. So this is the reason for which you have to first sort your Excel sheet so that you can get the exact, or you can get the correct data while you are applying this subtotal. So this subtotal function will help you when you are preparing some reports or some statistics on your data, where you have to present that let's say how many customers are from a specific city or from a specific state, something kind of that. So let's see if we have to apply this on our this order data. So over here you will get good results. So this is our data. So first what we have to do is we have to sort it. Let's say I want to sort it with the state. So what we have to do is I have to go to data, and then I'll apply this sort command. Now my data is sorted. I'll go to subtotal. I'll select, let's say, by default you will get that the last column by which and where this total would be added. Let's say I want to apply the same count function, and I want to show it below, let's say, the first column. Let's say I want to show it below order. Okay, once you press OK, so now you can check that there are 2 Alabama, so the count is getting over here. Here, so there are 2 states. Okay, let's check it, otherwise it is getting confused. Let's get the count below the state. Okay, now you can check that there are 2 Alabama, that means 2 states, 2 orders from Alabama, 2 from Arizona, 24 from California, 2 from Delaware, 3 from Florida, 4 from Illinois. So this is the simplest way by which you can easily get how many orders from different states. So to whom you want to give the priority, like the states that have most number of orders. So first we are going to dispatch them, or like the least number of orders. So this is so simple for you, and it is just one click away. Otherwise, what we have to do is we have to insert each rows or something for the subtotal. Every time we have to apply that, and then that would work on. That would be a hassle for you, and it will take much time. So Best thing for that is you can simply go to the subtotal, but for that you have to first sort your data. This is the kind of requirement is that for applying this subtotal thing, what we have to do is we have to first our worksheet based on that particular column or that particular data for whom we are applying this subtotal. Clear? Then we can directly go to the data tab and then we can choose this subtotal. And based on that, we can apply this, whatever the functions we want to apply, we will select that. And then we will select that on which column it would be applied. That means where the values would be changed. We are looking for, we will select that column. Then we will select that specific, functions that we want to apply. That means we will go to use function field. We will select the function that we want to apply. And then there would be, it will ask us to that where we want to add that particular subtotal. If you want to add that subtotal just below that particular column, you can select that column, or you can select your specific column where you want to show this subtotal. So by this, your calculated subtotal will be appeared in that column. Okay, your worksheet will be outlined into groups. So we have seen in the left side, we will getting those groups that has been created with the help of this subtotal. Clear? So this was all for today. I know those today's topics were a little bit complex and because they were the advanced topics. So no issues. You can go to them and you can try by yourself. So we have seen how we can apply the advanced filters. How we can, in the advanced filter we have seen the search filter.